Yo. So once again, welcome everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to all those people that are visiting us for the first time. Remember, this is the premium group, DayTraders FX premium group here. And we do live sessions every Monday and every Friday. So that's pretty great. But doesn't mean that's all we're doing every week. As you guys have hopefully been able to see, I send out trade alerts and video updates every day, usually multiple times per day. So remember, that'll come through this channel here and through your email inbox. But this is the members Telegram chat. So does this look familiar to everybody? Does everybody have access to this? Are you seeing these kind of one-way updates with my crazy videos and so on? Is that all coming through for everyone? Everyone able to access that and see? So I'll post a video every day in here, and I post several chart updates. 2 to 3 times a day. So I try to keep it pretty active, but I don't want to overwhelm. Too much information can sometimes be hard to put to work. Hello, Richard. Nice to see you. Welcome. Welcome. So anyway, good. Okay, so if anybody does not have access to this that is in the webinar right now, and if you're in the webinar, it's because you're a paid member, then let me know, and I'll make sure to get you the link and get all that stuff going. By the way, did anybody see an email this morning that said, welcome to the non-farm payroll session? Anyone get that email? Because I got that email from myself. I think I set a timer on last week's NFP session, and I got an email anyway. Yeah, did you? Yes, definitely a no farm payroll. Yeah, I got that. I thought, boy, that's definitely not now. So I think I set the timer on my email to go out, the day before, and to go out the next day, which would have been Friday. An hour or two before the session started, and I think it set it for the following Friday, not the tomorrow Friday of last week. So clearly today is not non-farm payroll. But anyway, there you go. There you have it. Okay, let's get started, guys. We have some good stuff to discuss. I think we're good. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about a few things. Number one, this is summer trading, right? So we're pretty good into July right now. We're mid-July, and this is where we start to see things get a little bit squirrely. And by that I mean, summer markets are kind of upon us, and we see some semi-choppy movement from time to time. So, usually in non-summer markets we get a good bit more trending, and in summer markets we get some more kind of erratic, sporadic movements, and we have definitely seen some of that. But we still had some good trades. Did everybody make some money this week? Did anybody make some money this week? I know that the trades that we talked about all worked out pretty good, Went well. So how'd you guys do this week? How did everybody do? Did anybody get a trade? Anyone make a buck? Make a pip? Good, Paul. Made some money, didn't catch it all. All right. Yeah, we don't have to catch it all. We just have to catch some of it. If we can catch some of it, that's the goal. So good. Shirley made some bucks. I love it. All right. Oh, there we go. So good. Who else made some money? Anyone else grab some of these trades? So some of the trades that we were talking about, looking at doing. Don't be shy, guys. One thing you'll notice is, especially those that are maybe on the first or second webinar with me. What we try to do is make a good, just open community here, right? So this is a great place to, just learn and share. And so many people, Gerhard is a great example here. Gerhard has been in the trade group since about 2008 or 9, right, Gerhard? Somewhere in there. So So a lot of people in the group have been here for 10-ish years, and some for a couple of years, and obviously we always have new people coming in, but we're trying to create a good long-term, yeah, one of the first to join, absolutely. So we try to create a good long-term experience, and that will only happen by being honest, sharing, talking. Let's talk about our frustrations. Let's talk about our successes. Let's talk about all of that. And this is definitely not a group where we're just going to talk about all the wins and ignore the losses. Let's learn from all of this, and whatever we did wrong and whatever we did right, let's make sure to discuss it and just be open about it. We're not doing anybody, especially ourselves, any favors by being quiet, sitting back, and just observing. This is a place to interact and talk. Now, if you're nervous or uncomfortable with interacting, this would be a good place to become unnervous, because we're gonna be going strong constantly. Bo, that's right, Bo. I think your first time was 2014, and you've been with us a couple of times since, and yeah. That's right, Gerhard. Stellar, that's right. Good grief, man. Wow, it's been a while. That's fantastic. Good morning, Joseph. So, yes, guys, it's a great group. So again, welcome to all the new people, and I hope you guys are all having a good time. And and once again, make sure any things that you're not understanding, you're not getting. We've got the public chat in Telegram. We've got some people don't love to be in public forums like that. Just click on my name and send me a private message, and we can chat about whatever you want to chat about. And I promise to get back to you so quick-ish. Sometimes my return, my reply time is a little bit lacking, but I try to get back to everybody as quick as possible. Okay, so Gerhard, 80 pips today. That's great. That's great. So here's a little bit. So again, guys, for all those that are kind of here for the first time or two, we do webinars on Monday and Friday, and Monday is kind of this is what we want to look for. This is the tone of the week. And then on Friday, we kind of wrap it up and say, well, did we stink at it, or did we do well with it? And so that's kind of where we are right now. Did we do good with this week, or did we not do so good with this week? Let's talk about for a moment in the members area of the website here. This was my watch list for the week, right? This is what I wanted to see, including a little bit of Bitcoin action right there. If the euro dollar and pound dollar didn't really, from the watch list didn't really do much. We updated, I updated the chart and the trade idea on that, specifically pound dollar just yesterday. We kind of talked about that, but everything else kind of worked out decently well as far as what we had on the watch list and what was posted going throughout the week, right? So I'm constantly updating the the trade ideas every day. Again, as mentioned, twice a day, actually. Every morning around the US session, and every evening before the UK session. Just for the UK session, I'll post a bunch of notes and details and so on. So, what was the beginning of this week here? Because I don't really, dates. There we go, July 9th-ish. So let's just kind of go back here to July 9th. So we sent out, well, and even before we do that, here are some of the watch list trades. Definitely some trades that we had, on the watch list. You can see New Zealand Swiss, New Zealand CAD, New Zealand dollar, and then pound dollar, euro dollar, and dollar yen. We're kind of the main watchers in my book for the week. I just opened up a few of these charts from the watch list there. Dollar yen, we'll talk about that one in a moment because there's a couple of trades to discuss there. But here was New Zealand dollar. What did we want to see the New Zealand dollar do? We wanted to see it make a little run down to that weekly pivot and then kind of see where it went from there. Now, in the group, we have a kind of a long-term New Zealand dollar trade running, and but we're trading the heck out of New Zealand pairs. But if you were kind of watching the watch list and I was updating on this every day, there's that chart, right? So this is kind of what happened here. New Zealand, that over there. So New Zealand dollar, wanted to see it kind of make its way up to that monthly pivot and then run down to that weekly pivot. So what did it do? Hit that monthly pivot, ran nicely down to the weekly pivot, and it's kind of continued going just a little bit there. So remember, New Zealand dollar is an interesting trade. One of the reasons that we're long New Zealand dollar, I mean, no doubt about the fact that New Zealand dollar has shown some weakness for sure, but we're definitely trading around a lot of other things New Zealand related. So it's turning out pretty well, but the New Zealand dollar is coming up to this major level that I'm loving here. Big double bottom and, you know, just a 10-year trend line. So what are the odds of a 10-year trend line breaking during summer? Very low, very, very low. So this is why we're long against this area here. Because this, you know, there's weakness for sure, but this is such a strong level, and it's such a big, massive son of a gun too, that, you know, this 6,700 zone, 67, 6,800 is serious business. So that's a great, that's a really great little area to be trading against. So it looks like New Zealand dollar might be trying to make a bit of a double bottom, and maybe even it heads a little bit lower. So could be doing that before, you know, kind of running up. But one very encouraging thing, another very encouraging thing about the New Zealand dollar, besides the fact that it's coming up against, you know, 10-year levels in summertime when there's not a lot of volatility, is that we have a lot of really great targets up above. So that's kind of the rationale behind the New Zealand dollar trade. But there has been some very good, definitely some very good short-term trades to take in the meantime as well. And this was absolutely one of them, right? So just, you know, trade the break, grab some pips on the way down, and trade it back up. Manjit, who is pretty active in the other chat there, you know, he's in everything, and we were chatting about this, and so he's holding longs, and he took some shorts. He shorted New Zealand dollar down, and I'm sure some other people may have done the same. Those in the U.S. can't do it, but outside of the U.S. can. Details. So anyway, that one worked out well, but again, we're kind of holding on to that position. Next one was New Zealand CAD. So what do we have on New Zealand CAD? What did we want to see New Zealand CAD do? Run up here, run up this channel, and break out and head towards the weekly pivot. So how did New Zealand CAD play out? Well, we actually had two trades on New Zealand CAD. So here was this channel, right? This was the channel from here. So there's that channel. So this thing ran up, broke out, headed down to the weekly pivot, and has done pretty well there. A second trade that I posted was this one. In fact, I posted this twice, and this was look for some additional consolidation and trade the trendline break. So it broke out again for us, and you know, it was good for, you know, 20, 30 pips. Kind of made a little rundown, but you know, nice little move, nice little move. Now, one thing that didn't happen on New Zealand CAD is it didn't hit this monthly pivot up above. So it pushed higher, and this little wick right here hit that weekly pivot, and it also just barely tapped that daily pivot. So we had this daily and weekly back there. Hopefully everyone can see my mouse. We hit that and missed the monthly pivot though. So we still have this current monthly pivot up here, and New Zealand CAD's running down. So I could see New Zealand CAD heading a little bit lower. One thing that I talked about was kind of this symmetry movement here, right? So this big rundown, we see this pullback. So if we kind of just duplicate that, give you a little bit of an idea of kind of where I was coming from there. This is called symmetry. This is kind of measuring some price projection here. That takes us very nicely into this previous low of 2016. Yeah, so that's the low of 2016 right there, and that symmetrical movement right there takes us right perfectly into that. So that move replicated over here takes us straight down to 8,600. So I like 8,600 as a bigger lower target and somewhere to take this New Zealand CAD down into. Let's see here. Will you hold New Zealand CAD and pound dollar over the weekend? Does it start by today? I think it's, Bo, good question. I think it's safe to say, you know, you can hang on to New Zealand CAD. It's probably good. on all of these trades, just lock in profit, and then there's no problem. But I think, you know, they can be held on to over the weekend, but move your stops to some amount of profit, 1 pip, 5 pips, somewhere in there. Yeah. Unless, by the way, I'm probably ill prepared to answer that question. Do we have any major news coming out like Sunday, Monday from anywhere? If we don't, I haven't looked at next week's calendar yet, but if we don't, then yeah, hold on to those puppies. Just lock in profit so that there's no worst case scenario there, and let them ride, because this, you know, I mean, to get New Zealand dollar at least down into the, or excuse me, New Zealand CAD at least down into these lows, I think is a pretty easy thing. Now it's summertime and there's a lot of chop, right? There's a lot of chop, so we gotta be a little more aggressive about taking profit in summertime, but you know, things still do move. I've traded through at least 15 summers at this point, and the one thing that I'm never surprised by is the fact that, you know, amongst all the chop, there still is some trend. There still is some movement. We don't get massive breakouts and massive runs, but there is still some movement. So, yeah, I'd hold on to those puppies. Absolutely. Answer your question. Is that good? Makes sense? Makes centavos? Okie dokie. So that's what we're looking for on New Zealand CAD. But it worked out, you know, it worked out twice for us this week, and it's, you know, it's in the process of working out again. And I think there's some good profits to be pulled out of this guy. Hold on, just real quick, guys. I'm getting a weird little signal. Are we still good? Is audio and video still coming through well for everybody? Audio and video, video and audio. Okay, good. Excellent. Okay, so New Zealand CAD, again, you know, another watch list item that worked out. What about New Zealand Swiss? Who got into this New Zealand Swiss? So what did we want to see on New Zealand Swiss? We wanted to see this thing run up, hit that area, but, you know, specifically just break out of our channel and start making a move down. And let's have a look at New Zealand Swiss. We had some great trades on New Zealand Swiss, by the way. I loved it. We bought New Zealand Swiss last week down here, and we traded it up to our two targets were 67.50 and 67.95. Hit that one nicely, hit that one to the pip, and even gave us a little double top there. So that New Zealand Swiss was a really, really great trade. So we bought that thing right at the bottom, and then once again we sold it up here, and we traded it right down. So again, if you look at these two charts, we want to see that move down into that weekly, daily pivot combo after breaking, you know, good resistance up here, good channel, good breakout, good target. And what did it do? All of that. Ran up to good resistance there, broke out, hit our target perfectly, and then ran just literally a handful of pips further, and then we were done with the trade. And then it, you know, ran back up here. So I didn't get any of this right here, but I got that. We got that. We got this in the group, and we got this right here. So two really good movements on New Zealand Swiss. So we had, you know, a couple of good trades on New Zealand CAD, a couple of good trades on New Zealand Swiss, a nice little opposite trade on New Zealand dollar to grab a couple of bucks out of. And they're just working out, you know, really, really well. So there's some pips and some profits. Remember, guys, what my whole goal to do here is to give you guys trade ideas and give you some specific details. You know, here's what to trade, here's what to target. Go for it. If anybody here has any questions about the specific trade, right? What are we supposed to do here? What's supposed to happen? Send me a message in. Come to Telegram here. Telegram is where. So let me just clarify here for a second. We have a members area of the website, and this is where, you know, trades are posted, watch list, you know, details. We have a chat in here. I don't use this chat too much because it is mobile friendly, but it's not mobile friendly like Telegram is mobile friendly. So, you know, the apps are kind of taking over our lives. So that's where we've kind of migrated to Telegram. And so I have two channels set up in Telegram. This is the members only. So only paid members of the trading group can see this. You can't reply to it, but you can see it. If I send something out here that you're not sure about or whatever, you can just go over here and you can go over to kind of our public chat forum. And this is a place where where I want traders to get together, but I don't give out our specific premium trade alerts, right? That I'm posting for paid members in the group every day. But this is a place to discuss. If you have a question about a trade and you say, hey, what about this pound dollar trade? What do you think right here? And I can talk about it a little bit. Or if you're a little bit, like, I don't really like these public areas, then you can just click on my name. Just go to your search box, type in Jared Johnson, you'll find me, send me a private message. I'm happy to get back to you. Everyone good on that? Everyone good on that? As you can see, I have some number of private messages. I only have hundreds of people in the group, so it's no problem. But I do get back to everybody, and it's a pretty easy discussion to have. So everyone good with that? Yeah, we're good. We're good. I just want to make sure that that you guys understand that I'm here to help, and I'm helping. I want to make sure that we find these good trades to get into. I want to make sure that you're clear on how to get into them, where to get out, all of that stuff, and then it's a good learning experience as well. So this is kind of a learn and earn kind of a deal, right? Let's make some trades together. Let's make some pips together, but let's also learn some stuff. So good, Shirley. That's great. I'm glad you're with us. So yes, and and like I said, I'll try to send out reminders and alerts as much as possible. But here were a couple of additional trades that I posted, kind of going into the end of the week here. We talked about a few things, some of these yen movements that happened that I was basically not expecting at all and didn't really get much of. One last one real quick here, just to kind of make sure we're up to speed. Did everybody, so this was posted multiple times as well. This was the sell the break of 131.90. I posted that there, and I think I posted it a couple of days. Oh yeah, and this guy right here. So plenty of time in advance, and it from posting this chart, I think it broke out 12 hours later or something. So there's plenty of time. I want you guys to set alarms and set alerts. So to be super clear as well, this trade group is not meant to be a spoon-feeding kind of a situation, right? I want you guys to do more and be more than just just copy the trades that I put on, right? Because that's learning a little bit, but you might as well just give me your money and I'll trade it, right? If you're just going to copy my trades exactly, if I say get in at this, put a limit order here and put a stop and a profit target here, what I want to do is say, here's the trade that we're looking at. When we get confirmation, let's trade it. And that confirmation could happen whenever. So, we have alternatives, right? We have, if you say, well, geez, what if this thing gives us confirmation over, in the middle of the night? Maybe I'm in the US and this moves during the UK session. Maybe I'm in Australia and this moves during the US session or whatever. There's ways to manage these positions. Put a pending order down below 131.90 by 5 or 10 pips. If it taps you in, here is one little, and I have a lot more to say about this, but I'm going to keep it short on this one. If you're not planning on every trade going against you some amount, then it's time for a reality check. No, what we want to do is we want to plan on these trades going against us a little bit. Just always plan on that. I always get into a trade at least 2 positions. I scale into everything. I don't ever get in my full size on the first position, ever. So pound dollar, for example, if you want to trade this, put a pending order down here. We had this little wick. If that wick tapped you in, be ready to scale in at a higher price or wait for this to get back down below 131.90 again and put another trade on. So there's a lot of stuff you can do with putting pending orders in, putting smaller trades in, and planning on adding another position in drawdown or in profit. Yes, I absolutely add to trades in drawdown, and I add to them in profit as well. So just kind of a couple of notes on that. We're going to talk a lot more about this, and you guys will see some emails about these details coming up. But anyway. And yes, Bo, it's a safe trade to hold for the weekend. Just lock in profit. So pound dollar has worked out decently well. It's not moving like crazy, but it did break our 131. Whoops, There we go. It did break our 131.90, and that worked out pretty well. And it ran all the way down here to 131.02. So far it's run, you know, I mean, taking entries and details into account, let's say it ran 80 pips, right? So you got in a little bit below 131.90. It ran 80 pips. And it's pulled back a bunch, right? So yes, this is a good one to be in. Lock in profit. It came shy of our target here. Two areas I wanted to see it hit was 131.00. I hope I posted that, by the way. I think I did. In my mind, I posted that. If I didn't, I'm horribly sorry. Yes, okay, so my repost here was stops above 132.00, targeting 131.00 and 130.50. So where did this thing go? 131.02. Ooh. So it got almost all the way to our first profit target before pulling back 70 pips. This is the essence of the pound dollar, by the way. But hopefully, you know, I mean, in a worst case scenario, everyone should still be in profit that got into this trade. But it's definitely pulled back a lot, and it just missed our first profit target there. So anyway, that's pound dollar, but it's working out okay. All I want to do on pound dollar at this moment is just trade it down and get it down to these lower levels. Then I want to be long pound dollar and long euro dollar and short US dollar. So anyway, that's a little bit of what we have in the works there. But you know, all of our New Zealand, we had at least 3 good New Zealand trades, and really more like 5 New Zealand trades, because we had a couple of them worked out, you know, twice. So a couple of good New Zealand trades. The pound dollars worked out well. Euro dollar was on our watch list, but it didn't really it just hasn't done anything for me. So I'm not trying to do anything here on euro dollar. Yeah. So good trades there. Any questions, guys? What do you think? Questions, comments? Is this making sense? Do you guys see kind of what we talked about at the start of the week and how it played out over the week? And are you curious how you can, you know, better take advantage of this, or were you able to take advantage of it a lot? Are you curious about orders and pending orders and how to scale into these trades? I mean, what do you guys think? What's the word, folks? What's the word? Are we hanging in there? Is it all kind of coming together? Good. Took profit. Take profit 131.10. Good, Gerhard. Jeez, man, nice work. Nice work on that. Good, Shirley. Excellent. I'm glad this is helpful for you. It's a fun group, and we, you know, I don't know, we usually make money every single week. So I think that's all we're trying to do. Learn a little bit, have some fun, and make some money. So good. Good, Paul. Excellent. Chris, my friend. Chris, good to see you. How are things up in Canada? Nice to see you, man. Yes, absolutely, Shirley. Yeah, we try not to keep it too terribly serious. You'll see, you'll definitely see some crazy stuff coming out of me. And but you know, here's the thing. I'm a serious trader, and I've been doing it for a lot of years. And until about 2 years ago, I could not trade without sitting in front of 5 computer monitors and at my desk and sitting straight up with my, you know, hot chocolate next to my keyboard, and you know, and so crazy serious. Yeah, Chris. And so, you know, let's see, it was a couple summers ago that we traveled through Europe, and I realized I can do all of this very accurately from, you know, from a laptop. And what is the goal here? To have a little bit of freedom, right? I'm currently sitting in my motorhome on this, you know, staring at the beautiful mountains in the middle of nowhere, talking to you guys about trading, and you know, was easily able to keep up this entire week with multiple trades. We had tons of good trades, and you know, and it was no problem. So that's the goal for trading, to disconnect ourselves and not have to be so tied down to a situation. And some people are uncomfortable with that. I get that. Some people need to be in their situation, and they need to be really locked down and in a very stable, you know, sterile environment. I'm not that guy. I have 3 little kids, and I like to travel, and I like to go places, and so I just take my computer and the internet and to go and travel and trade and have a good time. So yes, technology is absolutely our friend for sure. Okay. So that's a little bit of what we're looking for, guys. Next week, you know, it was a good week. We had, I mean, basically every trade that we talked about in the group worked out. So that's good. That's really good. And now we're kind of just waiting for some additional confirmation, some additional things to happen. Yen, you know, I missed 100% of everything yen this week, including, you know, I even posted this, you know, I posted this dollar yen chart. So remember I said this is a late in the week watch list because I posted it on Tuesday instead of Monday. And I was looking for this little situation right here, right? 111.30, we had a nice little double kind of triple top here at about 111.30 and a rising trend line. This was just kind of our decision point right here. And dollar yen, the son of a gun, ended up, here is 111.30. Here's that area that I had posted right there. And we broke from 111.30. What was the high over here? 112.70 or something. So it ran 140 pips, and I missed it. I don't really have any good excuse other than I just remember thinking these yen pairs are getting kind of ugly, and I don't know what I want to do with them. And then we had this massive yen movement, right? Dollar yen shot up a bunch, euro yen shot up. You know, all the yen pairs just shot straight up. All the Swiss franc pairs, you know, moved towards Swiss. We had a lot of Swiss and yen weakness this week, which was, I'll be honest, pretty unsurprised or pretty unexpected for me. I was surprised by that. I'd love to say I have a crystal ball and I expect every single movement. Did not expect those at all. But they ran and they did well. So anybody that was long any yen pairs was happy. And you know, and it wasn't that I didn't kind of sort of see it coming, because I posted this chart, you know, well before it happened. And then I just didn't get into it. So that was a no messing around kind of movement. That thing shot up there. But here's what I see on dollar yen is this, and I posted this chart as well somewhere back here. This guy. So I said, all right, we have this little channel here. If this breaks below 112.35, we might be able to target this daily pivot here at 111.65.70. And so here's what this has done. This has, you know, it's consolidated above there. It doesn't seem to want to break below that 112.35. And there's a daily pivot right there, by the way. And so this, you know, this is kind of maybe even an adjusted movement here. This is on the hourly chart, but I mean, this thing might be able to give us, you know, a little bit of love still, because what we have on this dollar yen is this right here. I have this little channel that's, you know, that's trying to form just a little bit up here, and it's chopping around. We still have this right here. Mark my words, this is probably going to get hit very soon. This is an important level. This, not only is this the big resistance level that it broke out of, but it's also a very fantastic imbalance level. Market imbalances, and I'll talk more about that, but that's a great little level there. And so we have all this space right here that I could see the dollar yen trading towards. So, you know, there's about 100 pips that I could see this thing dropping, and I'm going to watch it. I've got a little chart alarm set there at about you know, 112.37, I guess, is where my chart alarm set. So right that level I talked about, 112.35. If that breaks below, I might try to short this dollar yen for a couple of bucks, and I'll keep you guys posted if I jump into that. But I'm kind of watching that, and I'm seeing what we have there, and I think we've got some good stuff. So going into next week, I want to trade some yen pairs. There's the dollar yen. Here's the euro yen. Look at this little dude. We have quite the nice rising wedge on euro yen. We have a weekly pivot, an imbalance, a daily pivot, a daily pivot, a daily pivot. There's a lot of great levels up here, and I could really see this euro yen kind of selling off. We had this, you know, we had this kind of bigger breakout here, but it's definitely getting a little on the extended side over here. So I think kind of resetting and making a run back down to the, to this channel area. So getting a breakout of a channel and then retesting it before continuing on with the trend is very common. So retesting this area would take us all the way from this 131 down into 129, even into 128 area, and that's what I want to see happen. So I want to see some of these yen pairs correct a little bit going into next week. So I'm going to be looking for yen shorts with some confirmation, and we'll see if we can get them. But dollar yen, euro yen looks good. And those are kind of the main yen pairs that I'm trading. But we're going to do a lot of CAD trading next week. We're going to do some yen trading next week. We'll see if the New Zealand pairs give us a little bit more. But there's some great opportunities here, and so we're just going to kind of dive into them. Here's my final word real quick. This is dollar CAD, and I posted charts and videos on this and just said, I don't know what this thing's doing. This is so kind of 50-50 to me right now. Massive falling wedge broke out. This is bullish. This is super bullish. I have a big target up here, 135.50, 13600. What I don't know here is we've got this major consolidation right here, a little double top, and some pretty good support down here. We hit 130.65 there, and that also has created a pretty nice little channel. So if this breaks out here, I think there's 50 to 75 pips below 130.65 to go after. If it breaks above this double top, we could be headed in the bullish direction. And so I'm kind of sitting on the sidelines. So we're going to try to trade dollar CAD next week with confirmation. We're going to trade some yen pairs next week with confirmation. We'll trade some other CAD pairs next week with confirmation, and we'll trade some, an occasional other dollar pair that kind of pops up. I like pound dollar and euro dollar as well, and I think those will be good. So yeah, so that's kind of what we're going to try to target next week. We're just going to dig at these trades and go for it and just keep plugging away. We make money every week, so I don't know what else to say. We're all here doing the right thing at the right time. So good work to everybody that made some money this week. We'll make some money. I would take a very big chance on next week, and we'll probably do it the week after that as well. So in the meantime, I'm going to go hike around Zion's Park, and I'm sure it's about 900 degrees there already. But I will get this recording uploaded, and as we go, I'll kind of keep an eye, and if there's any crazy trades that pop up, we'll jump into something before the week is over today. But usually I don't do too much trading on Friday. But we'll be back Monday morning, and we'll have lots of good trades to chase after. So. Should be fun. Should be fun. Yeah, it's gonna be quite a wild adventure. Hiking through Zions with little kids in the middle of summer. What could go wrong? Besides everyone just overheating. So should be fun. I'm excited. I'll take some pictures. I'll post some stuff for you guys. But thanks, guys. Nice to see everybody. Nice to have everybody with us. So glad to have the new members of the group, and of course, glad to have all of you good regulars with us. Good to see everybody. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Any questions, any comments, don't hesitate to let me know. I'm here, and I'm happy to help. And let's take it from there. So everybody, have a wonderful weekend. If there's any final questions or comments or anything, just ask them. Don't even be shy. Just let me know. What do you guys think? Anything before we wrap it up? Thanks, Gerhard. You as well. Have a great weekend. Nice to see everybody. Good to see everyone. Take care, guys. We'll see you back here on Monday. And hopefully it was a profitable week for everybody. I made some money this week, and that's always good. What else can you ask for? So thanks, guys. Take care. Nice to see you. We'll catch up with you all on Monday.